Hey guys, welcome to London Spirits Competition Winners Pitches. I chat with some of the winning brands here, and here's what they have to say.
Well, my name is Michael Carilla, and my family came to Peru in the 1950s. I was actually born and raised in Miami, and I moved down in 2012 to build a factory with zero intentions of doing any kind of distilled spirits.
Mhm.
As fate would have it, I got married and ended up coming up with the idea to make Andean whiskey. And I tell you, Andean whiskey is very important because we finally got Andean whiskey registered as a definition, as a technical norm here in Peru, meaning you have Japanese whiskey, you have American whiskey, you have Scotch whiskey, and now you have Andean whiskey. So that was a big, like game for us. It was great. It was awesome. Our brand is called Black Whiskey. And the reason it's called Black Whiskey is there's a particular corn here in Peru that is called black corn, or also known as purple corn, that literally every single Peruvian, and I'm not exaggerating, every single Peruvian has drank a drink called chicha morada throughout their childhood and throughout their adult life, actually. So the corn is kind of like an iconic corn here in Peru. And the interesting thing about Peru is it has 52 varieties of different corns. The United States has 13. So before even beginning this, it was kind of like, wow, what do we want to do with our lives? I had a construction company, but the economy was going down. And I had built a couple of stills, and I'd actually built a distillery for somebody. So that's where the idea came about. It's like, hey, I drink bourbon. Why not use a Peruvian corn, especially this corn, which even I knew about because I've been to Peru 50 times throughout my lifetime. And we started making some tests, and it came out terrible. I mean, like bad. But after 6 months or so, it improved enough to where I wrote a business plan. My background is mechanical engineering, and I have an MBA in finance. So I wrote a business plan, raised some capital, and we built the distillery. And long story short, jump ahead almost 7 years, here we are. We are probably, I tell people, we are the flagship distillate of Peru. We won World's Best Whiskey last year, I'm sure you saw. And Forbes magazine has featured us 3 times. So we're really happy with you guys. We won over and over again. Our primary product is black whiskey, but we have 3 different versions here. This is our regular black whiskey. Okay. It's a bourbon style whiskey again. We have a single barrel version, which has been quite a hit. It's been fantastic, actually. And more for the local market, we have a black whiskey honey. And I want to say to compete with Jack Daniels, but who can compete with Jack Daniels? But it is quite a hit down here. In addition to the whiskey products, we also branded Andean as a alcoholic beverage. So I have the brand for Andean in Peru, and we have these 3 products, which are Andean cream, Andean gin, and Andean vodka. And as a matter of fact, we're launching Andean rum in October. So that should be pretty cool.
Nice. I love the passion even after 7 years, Michael. Very nice. Super.
Well, I have some even better news. Last year was fantastic. Sales have been growing at 240% per year.
Wow.
We raised a couple $1 million of new capital this year so far. We're still looking for a little bit more, but everything's going great. So I expect to find it without a problem and do a distillery expansion. And hopefully we can start filling about 1,000 barrels per year.
Amazing. Tell me a little bit about the distribution landscape, right? Are you still mainly in US, or are you looking for more states in US, or which countries are you eyeing at?
That's a great question. We're in 12 countries now. Our main countries are USA, Taiwan, Germany, and then we have some like satellite companies where in certain places we have a couple distributors, others just one distributor. Japan, we have 2 distributors. Germany, we have 2 distributors. Spain and Sweden. We have one distributor. We actually got into Venezuela, did a product launch in Caracas a few months ago, which was pretty cool. And to think more about the global landscape, we are really focused on trying to get into two places. One, England, and two, Chile. Because we went to Chile last week for the Peruvian Independence Day. We spent the day at the ambassador's house. He had like a reception. And we're working with Prom Peru in both Santiago, Chile, and Jonathan in London. You probably wouldn't be familiar with him, but Prom Peru works. It's a government-funded agency that helps promote Peruvian products all over the world.
I think it's almost like Pro Mendoza or Pro Chile, something like that, right?
Yes, exactly.
But it's great. I mean, I think Chile would be a more natural partner because it's just, pretty much very near, and I believe there must be synergies there. Now, Andes, is that like Andes Mountains? Is that how it is?
Correct.
All right.
Yes. And I wrote the rules for Andean whiskey. So Andean whiskey has 5 rules like bourbon. I wanted it to be made in the Andes Mountains, but the Peruvian government insisted on it be made in Peru. But the next 2 rules are most important. 51% or more of corn is for bourbon. In our case, it's 51% or more of Andean corn. So there's 52 varieties again. So pick one. I'll tell you what my fantasy is, and this is true. I tell everybody this when I do tours, is I want to go to London in a couple of years, let's say 5 years down the road, and go into a bar and say, hey, I'd like an Andean whiskey. And they ask me, okay, which one? And I'm like, oh, well, it's got to be black whiskey, the number 1.
Man, it's good that you're promoting the whole region, the category. It's an amazing story. Tell me about, when you're meeting a distributor, when someone is asking you what's in it for me, or what different kind of support you can do, what does that look like? What kind of programming you throw in for your distributors?
Well, one thing that's helped us quite a bit is the whole Peruvian gastronomy. The Peruvian food is considered probably top in the world. I'm sure you've seen that 4 restaurants were elected to the top 50 here in Lima. And Peruvian cuisine has made quite an impact in the U.S., in Singapore, and Chile. I would imagine, from what I understand, there's a bunch of restaurants in London, Dubai. We're in Dubai. So we're kind of piggybacking off the success of the Peruvian foodie culture.
Understood.
But we visit our distributors. We promote our products. We have 500 or 50 milliliter and 100 milliliter miniatures that we like to send at no cost. So people have samples to give out. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. World's Best Whiskey 2022 really works. I mean, it's pretty impactful.
Amazing. For the bartenders out there, what's their elevator pitch? How are they pulling customers to your brand? Any tips, any pointers for the bartenders on how they can storytell?
Yeah, absolutely. Bourbon style whiskey made from Peruvian corn. I mean, and Peru has this kind of mystique to it, with Cusco and Machu Picchu, and everybody wants to visit Peru. Everybody wants to eat Peruvian food. So it's a pretty easy sell to talk about the black corn whiskey made in Peru, winner of the world's best whiskey. Look them up in Forbes magazine, or just look them up, and we pop up all over the place. I mean, it's really exciting to us because 5 years ago you searched for black whiskey and nothing came up. You search now and 100 different things come up in Google.
Fantastic, super. Any closing marks, Michael, for the trade buyers out there? Well,
it's pretty cool. A lot of bartenders visit different countries. Peru, again, is a destination. We do distillery tours that are super cool. And we're happy to, pay for transportation and do whatever it needs. So if anybody out there wants to come visit us, we're open. Just check out our website, blackwhiskey.com. And obviously we have all the social media platforms out there, Instagram, Facebook.